Well, good morning, modelers. Ed here. This morning I thought I've seen a lot of 50 Fords out there, Ford pickup trucks, which is really good. You guys might have done them like months ago or something, maybe, but I like that model. Not bad. I thought I'd talk a little bit about frames here because I've done extensive work on my frame here. Okay, and I've seen a lot of warped frames. Okay, for one, okay, this frame has been cut off right there. I chose a point where I cut it right there, right there, okay? And because I wanted to make my frame shorter, okay, so I chose to specifically have this cross member in the mix so that I could glue it back there. And of course, you see I reinforced it on both sides with my just like a real welding job, right? Okay, see, I knocked off one of the deals. I got to put another one on there, because I have fat fingers and fat hands. Okay, and you'll see some flame burn marks here. Okay, this frame was straight, and then when I glued it all back together, it was cockeyed. One, because I don't use a ruler or anything, I just go by eye here. So like this side was a little bit longer than this side. So I unglued it. As you can tell, the frame will not look straight after you do that, right? So I did that, redid it, and then after I did that, my frame was bent too. So what a trick you guys can do, you can see flame marks there. What I do is I take a lighter, and you don't want to ever let the lighter flame hit the plastic. But if you hold it right above the flame for a couple seconds, you can then heat up the plastic enough to where you can take it with your hands and bend it, right? And I've seen a lot of you guys like take the edge of the table, and this is a round table, you don't want to do that, of course, but take the edge of the table, straighten it out. However you do it is fine. But yeah, you can straighten these frames out. Um, this one, in fact, redoing my springs, I busted the front axle right in half, so I re-glued it. But I'll show you what I do with the springs here. So these front springs, okay, I've got my axle on the outside. Some of you folks, to lower it, like to put it on the inside. But what I've done is my trick to lowering these guys is to cut off like um, like less than a quarter inch off of each end of the springs. Okay, and then these front springs, like many of you guys have found out, you've got to straighten them out. They're too bent, right? This one's kind of messed up here. I'm surprised it still sits straight, but you know, but you won't see that, and I can fix that. But then I bent these springs straight. Same. Uh, you can kind of bend these because it's soft plastic with your hands. You don't have to like heat it up. And then the back springs, same deal. Instead of going into the spot where, see these little holes where the spring normally would go, I cut a little bit off of each end of the spring. Okay, it looks odd, but you can fake it. You can cut pieces of plastic to make it the same length as the other one, and once it's glued, and nobody will ever know that it's not part of the spring, right? Okay, um, so that's my deal with the frame of the 50 Ford. Um, yeah, it's it came. I got lucky. Mine came pretty straight, but you can work with it. Um, and and you can tell, you can fit it to the body. Look at my my wheel got glued on crooked there. But you can tell when you fit this to the body, that's the important thing. Even if it's crooked, you know, set the body on the table, you know, and mock it up, and you know, check the ends to see if they're looking pretty straight on the body once you put it on there. Once you test fit it, and make sure your front end looks straight, you know, and so that's my tip. Yeah, see the springs got it sits straight amazingly, but I've got to do some work on my back. This back wheel kept falling off there, but other than that, it you know, it takes a little fiddling with. But as you can see, all four wheels are on the ground. You know, I can. It's pretty close, and considering all of the chopping and stuff that I did, you know, I'm okay with that. You know, and then I just want to make a quick shout out. I got Hemi Underglass. You know, I redid his side here, so he's good. That little blurriness on the front, I don't think I'm going to bother with. You know, it's not too critical. You know, it's not like these aren't like show models, but yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Muscle Car Modeler, BG Model Workshop, Zippy, Ron, Scale Model Car Chief, Michael, Red 13, Paul at Styrene, and Throttle Power. Thanks to all of you guys for subscribing. And just hang in there, guys. Yeah, that frame, it takes a little bit of fiddling with. You know, I've fiddled with it for about 2 weeks now, but it's getting there. You know, lots of marking. I've got, you know, you can see I've got my red mark there where I want the axle to line up under the car itself, and you know, so lots of fiddling with it, and then I think it's almost ready to go to paint. You know, I've re-glued the springs about 12 million times and stuff like that. You know, I think I'm going to paint it a gold for my truck, and then truck's coming along fine. Fat fenders, I had to readjust a little bit. You know, I found that the biggest help is laying your model on a flat table, flat surface. You can tell right away. So I was working on the fenders, and I learned that the model was sitting cockeyed on the table. So I learned that one of my fenders is higher than the other. So, but you know, that's me. I fiddled around with it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then finally it all comes together. So you know, I'm like most of you guys. It would bug me. I'm like Paul. Stuff would bug me until I finally got it all together and completed one. I got to complete one and then move on to the next. But great to hear from all of you guys. Thanks for your inputs. All the 50 Ford pickups look fantastic out there. I like MPC. I like them a little bit better than AMT, but you know, AMT is fine too. You know, it's just a model is a model to me. You know, as long as I'm having fun. We're lucky enough that these manufacturers make them, and you know, we're lucky that we can still have a lot of fun and that we're not dead yet. So thanks to all of you guys, and we'll see you later.